That's a nice view behind you.
That-
That's a nice view behind you.
Oh yeah, it's great and it's raining.
Oh, okay.
Just I don't know if Yoshchil was going to join or not, or even Lucas, but
Oh,
Lucas.
Lucas, nice.
Oh,
Hey, Lucas.
hey.
When you joined, there was a sound, but then it went away.
Yeah, it's his vibrator. Quickly switches it off.
It's gone now,
It's
right?
still the charger. No, now I don't hear it. It's the
Yeah.
charger.
Yeah, it's gone.
Yeah, it's my charger.
Cool. I'll mute myself in between.
Yeah. Hello, hello.
Hi guys.
How's it going?
Good, thanks, and you?
Good, 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 good.
How's the surgery?
Huh?
How's the surgery?
Oh, it was good. It was good. Not swollen or anything, and just drinking, and I chew like a
That's
grandpa
good.
now, or I have to grind my teeth from the front to chew the food. But so apart from that, apart from looking funny eating food, I'm okay.
Ah, nice.
Did both sides?
Both sides, yeah. You see the screws that were in, right? So they will build the Burj Khalifa this way. I told them I want teeth like the walrus, so they're like, "All right, we'll get you some screws first." So
Yeah, my wife had the same operation a few years back. So
with the
Yeah.
on the molar itself.
yeah, it was also implants, but more at the back, like
In
yours.
the back.
Yeah, yeah.
Mine is where the molars are supposed to be,
Yeah.
the main tooth that is used to grind your teeth, grind
yeah.
your food.
There's
not teeth.
Yours was a little bit further back, so yeah.
Yeah, the doctor was cool. So he did I didn't feel anything the whole time. So
But
he just says, as the anesthesia wears off, you won't have pain, but it'll be uncomfortable. It feels like, when you have a cut in your mouth and then there's some chilies that touch it.
Ish.
It just has that burning feeling, but there's no pain.
so you say it's fun. Because chilies is
fine,
good too.
not fun.
It's fun to eat chilies.
Yeah, he's like, you can eat cold food. I'm like, oh, okay. Then I'm thinking about like, what the hell is cold food? There's no such thing as cold food. Like,
Oh, smoothies, I guess.
yeah, but that's not food. That's liquid. I mean, liquid, okay, I get. But what is cold food?
Like cold deli meats.
Yeah, so I can eat a sandwich, basically. Like, because I was like, let's get some lunch, and I'm thinking about like, what the hell is cold?
Oh well, ice cream, cake.
Ice cream. So cake I had.
Nice.
I can think of a lot of good cold foods.
The junk cold foods, like, trust me, I'll get them all in. But okay. All right. So let's start with the USDN, because that was like the main King Kong from yesterday. I had the best trade on it. It gave additional trade today. Henning, you milked out the second half. Lucas, you started from the second half as a first trade. I traded this whole thing as one 4-hour trade as well. So all in all, it's a good trade, but some of the things that are scary, let's talk about that. And some of the things that you guys did really, really well. It's good to discuss that and point those things out as well, because not only do we need to point out stuff that we do wrong, but we should also point out things when we make the right calls, so you remember to do them again. if given that opportunity to make a choice. So, all right, so let me bring it up from the daily llama. Okay, here we are on the daily. The situation is overall upflow, multiple legs up, overextended, give me a two-legged refresh, and then we'll see. Two-legged refresh comes into a trap, and that's what we're buying. However, we want to investigate leg 2. As we investigate leg 2, here we are on 4 hour, this becomes trading time frame because we can actually see the legs here. So if that's leg 2 from here to here, ultra fast, ultra aggressive into our support. So we like that, but we're not going to buy that too high. We're not going to count this as 2 because we never gave him an opportunity to get a shot in. But once it comes up a bit higher, around 50%, and then it goes, we're like, that's good enough for us. Now, if you noticed, the bad close is either this candle or that candle, or where it was fully red and it snapped back and closed, right? Which means if that's a 50% discount for them to sell, it should have gone down. He didn't go down. That means support's holding, not to mention the volume at the bottom. Okay, so far so good. It took after that 1, 2, 3 candles to activate. So it took 12 hours for that engine to start. So that's already like, oh man, that's scary. But it went. Once it went, it paused in no man's land. Like it paused in an area that there's nothing there. There's nothing to worry about. The trap above is here. These are the traps above. So there's nothing here except just a little candle there, right? So it stopped for nothing. And then the fact that he's pulling back, we're like, perfect. We know there are sellers here and they're trapped. So if those sellers are trapped, then maybe we can get a buy done off of them. So as it comes down, we don't know if he's going to come down like this and go, or if he's going to come down like that, bounce, that, and then take off. Okay, the reason why I was thinking two bounces, and the same thing Lucas was thinking about as well for the 2 bounces possibly coming in. If you investigate just this portion on the way up when it launched, look at it from a 60. Look how he launched. Pause, hold, pull back. That's 3 legs up. After 3 legs up, what do we need? 2-leg refresh. There's a refresh coming in. Now, the leg 2 came in super hot. So when it bounces, we don't know if they're going to snap back. If they're going to snap back. We don't know where they're going to snap back and saying, okay, that's the 2. This one only did 1. It bounced off the test and left. So where you got in Lucas is after watching how this unfolds fully, and then you got in on the test of that, knowing that they might respond back. So that was a very, very good call because you're already in a buy mode after crushing all those sellers. There is no seller. It's already in a buy mode and there's a trap. So you're just like, I just want to get in. It's not that there's a seller who's going to hit. There is no seller. So it was a good call to start to trade from there. And then handing the logic for you as it got up to here, it's like if they've got nothing, even if they come down like that much and they got nothing and it goes, yeah, that's a logical way to think because there's nobody there and there's no one unholy there. So it looks like it's gonna go. So when he did 1 here and then it came up to bounce in this area, once I saw that area hold, I was like, I'm out because I don't know how deep he's going to come in or if he's going to come in 50% and go. I just closed it. That was my full exit. I'll show you the 15 on top here just to show you 1 time frame down. Let me just delete this. Okay, so where are we here? There's a leg 2 down. Leg 2 downs come down. And as it's coming up to test the area, come up in 3 legs. He's come up in 3 legs. He's hit the trap, responded, 50% responded back, and then that candle closed like that. I was like, I'm done. I'm out. Because they're gonna hit it, they're gonna try and go for the sell from here if they want to do the sell. But the key, the main key that sticks out is where Lucas, where you did your trade, activity came in on the buy side. The volume indication says there's a buyer behind this. There's a huge buyer behind this, which means the sellers are going to have a very tough time getting a sell done if there's a buyer right below it. And then now it propelled it up even further, again, leaving these guys in the dust. So more people trapped behind. So what's going to happen is he's going to reach these type of areas, do something like that, and then possibly come out like that. But slowly it's chewing through the whole thing. This is now, I don't know, day 3 or 4. You guys started bounce stuff Friday, right? The learning of it on Friday. Today is Wednesday.
Yeah.
This is straightforward, right?
Yeah. I applied it to the Aussie Swiss franc as well. Very similar to this. And it worked out quite nicely.
Yeah, but at the same time, you guys watched the video I sent for Ollie when he needed a Euro USD explanation?
So that,
But yeah, but you can see a small detail. If it goes missed, the whole trade can collapse on you, even though his entry was absolutely correct. A little detail on the top-down processing, if that information is missed, then the whole thing will fail. So bounce has that risk of you can't miss any. Actually, any trade has that risk, right? You should do everything to perfection. You know, you can't just half do something like that's going to make money anyways. Should always have the work put in. So how's the experience been then so far? Any questions of when you do all these things? Do some things scare you or some things freak you out? Is it hard to pull the trigger to enter? Is it hard to pull the trigger to exit? What are some of the things that you guys have encountered so far?
Before going to that, I'm just wondering about this particular one, right? That could this move, could this be sort of like it's 50%, and then that's like for the entire push down, it's like the sort of like the first touch, and then from here potentially trying to bring the second one in.
Yes, that could be the case, and that's why I was also looking at it as the way it's coming. Okay, this is the whole thing, and that's close to a 50%, right? If this thing, when we got this, I was happy. I was like, okay, it got rejected. Now let's see the follow through. If it has volume, we're okay. They're not gonna stop. If it doesn't have volume and the candle closes like this, then that's a 2.
Yeah.
Then that big seller is gonna hit the sell.
Yeah.
Right, because that's what you were afraid of, right? You were afraid of maybe they're gonna get a 2 and then they're gonna come smash it.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about.
Yeah. So that is a fear on that area, and I thought that area was this area here where I got out. I thought that's what was happening. It was getting rejected.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But
yeah, because I was thinking yesterday you were saying maybe that's the first touch, right? But then that's the 50% only from this swing high to this.
Correct.
So yeah, then it might be this also having their 50%. Might be, which is this.
It might be exactly. I don't see a level per se, but when a 50% is involved, it's sort of like a hidden level. It's like maybe it can just come to life because it's 50%.
Yeah.
Like that's like a good deal. So yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
if in that case, if this candle had closed, which is closing in 1 hour and 46 minutes, if it had closed with a wick on top, then we'd say, yeah, they're dead. In fact, even if it closes down with the wick on top right now, we would then go down to the 60 and see, hey, they closed outside, they spent some time outside, and he closed back inside. Oh, they're dead, and they're trapped on top. Yeah, now that can still be a sell. But we need volume to be on our side. At the end of that story read, it needs to end up on our side.
Mm.
Not if I sell this, there's a volume right in front of me that bought before, then they won't let us through. Because right now, that's the information we have. They're trapped in there.
Yeah.
So this some of the things we have to stay on top of. In fact, I didn't read this. Should have hit the buys from here. I was thinking I should have hit it again, but I got scared of this holding. Here's a quiz for you guys. If it goes up to here, leaves these guys trapped behind, and then he starts doing this, should we buy?
Well, that's forming a upper range. I wouldn't buy. I would wait for it to break out of it. But that's more like a buyer's sign for me because the range is on the upper side, so showing me that sellers can't really do anything.
Okay. What about the rest of you guys? Should we buy?
Probably
No.
not. Just in case that happens.
Okay. Okay. So yes, that will go up. These are signs of a buy. Should we buy? As a bounce trade, never. A bounce trade is come away from everything. Let me get it nice and low and then go to something. But if it's up at something, don't initiate a new thing up there. Never initiate something at the top because a bounce trade does what? He never likes to break things. He just gets off before it breaks. Right? So if you don't have this pullback down here or something in that area there, definitely don't do that one. Even this is like, oh, you're playing with fire. Don't do that one either. You better get this one down here or that one down here. So a look of a bounce trade always is I'm buying in the face of red bars. Or I am selling in the face of green bars, basically. It looks like people will look at you like, are you crazy? It's coming down like a rocket. And you're like, I know, I'm just trying to slow him down. But if you roll him over and then you get in, then that's chase price. Then you have to be certain of the story that it's going to go. But it's not a bounce trade. That's just a home run trade now. That's the three, basically. You got your one, you got your through. It launches and then the other side test. You got, that's like an on trade, kind of like take me with you. Okay. Now, even in this on trade, if resistance is up here and you got a trap down here, it's like, if I can just get that, I can get off here. That's a bounce also. Yeah, so it makes sense how to think about things. And generally, this will always keep you safe for the most part. Can you do this one? this buy here.
Yeah, it's like a bounce in an on trade.
Good. It's a bounce and an on
Love.
because you're actually still buying low at a 50% discount.
Oh,
You see the key difference? But if it came up to here and then he did that, you know it's a buy. We all know it's a buy. It's just, it's a little too high. We're not gonna, any one thing that goes wrong, we're in trouble. That's the problem. But we all know it's a buy. Let's just hope it doesn't probe back. That's all. That probe is the scary part. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you just keep thinking like that, you'll know a bounce trade has healthy entries. Okay. So what else do we have today? Well, I'll keep an eye on this one right about. So let me move it on this time frame. Okay. Is it back on? It's back on. Yeah. Henning, you said Aussie Swiss on the trade today. The other one.
Yeah, that's I did a buy on that.
Okay, let's open that one up. What's the story on this one? What are you looking
Up
at?
to the 4 hours.
Okay.
So
Put the 4 hour here. Put 60 here.
yeah,
Okay.
so
Yeah. Uh-oh, I think my Wi-Fi froze. Oh no, I see you guys. But Henning froze.
Yeah, it's just ending.
Yeah, I think it's just him.
The car's not moving.
Yeah, the car's not moving. Generally, if this car's not moving, I think I'm lagging. Oh, power just dipped. Router rebooting. Okay. All right. Well, let's. While he comes in, Yosh, you want to have a go at what do you think he might have done? Because he did a buy. You want to have a go at where do you think he would have gotten in? What would he have done, et cetera, et cetera.
okay. On Aussie Swiss franc today.
He's done a buy, I think, here.
Okay. So can we use the 1 hour as the trading time frame?
Sure, can. Use
I
whatever
can,
you have at your disposal. You can use the 4 hour, you can use the 1 hour.
okay. On the 4 hour, we can see that when price dipped here and came back out, that might have trapped some people.
Mhm.
And now we're approaching that area again. And 2 legs slowing down. So on the 1 hour, we can go and see that trap in more detail.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, yeah. The trap in more detail, right?
So yeah. Price today, I should probably start reading it from the top though. This would have been a 1 and then a 2, which then continues to crash down. And so now we start the process over again.
Okay, it's another leg, yeah.
So looking at this one, it comes in pretty hot, starts to slow down as candles progress.
Yeah.
But we can't do anything there because we need to
okay.
let him get his
Sorry.
50. Oh, sorry, Eddie. We let him
Sorry,
get
my
his
power
50.
just dipped.
Oh,
Oh
okay.
yeah, no worries, no worries.
And then once he tries to take his 50 but can't do anything, then we're expecting our number 2 to come in. So,
Okay.
but
Okay.
I don't know if this is a good place to enter, or we should let him try a bit first.
Good, good. That's the point that I wanted to bring to everyone's attention is yes, it is a buy. Do we do the breakout?
It could be a bit dangerous if we haven't seen a seller try to come in.
Correct. If this happened here, no matter what the stop loss is, guaranteed stopped out. Right? Just a little to the left if that happened. So the location is very, very dangerous for this. Not to mention, this thing is actually ready to go for a buy, very, very strong. We've seen Aussie yen went up last night, CAD yen went up. All these other pairs that we had looked at last night, they all did well. It was Swiss that came down like 2 legs down. Has he been exhausted already that he needs a 2-legged refresh before continuing up again? Okay. This is a trap area anyways, where there's trap sellers in there, right? Okay, so if that was leg 1, and this is leg 2 is smaller than 1, but leg 2 is faster than 1. Okay, if it's faster than 1, what are some of the elements that we understand? 1 is it comes on full speed and we can't buy that. Let the 50% try, and then we can see, right? Second scenario, he goes up, doesn't try, flies up. We're like, ooh, they trapped. Stay on the 60. It's already a smaller time frame to the 4-hour, which has done 2 legs. Now the 60, give me a bad candle close. That's your buy. This buy started 2 hours ago. While you were speaking, I'm trying to get it. Excuse me.
This one almost looks like, on the precision time frame, we won this, how we used to call the sucker coming in kind of thing.
For the sell side, you mean?
Yeah.
Before the buy comes, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because whenever it grinds through, that test comes in. It's the same thing I'm afraid of on USD yen, which makes me get out. I'm like, they're gonna freaking spike it before rising up. Like
Because
they do
of
this
this move,
all
right?
the time. Yeah, when it grinds through a strong seller, then it's
Yeah.
like there's no seller, there's no seller, there's no seller, there's no seller. And when it's confirmed that there's no seller, they'll do this.
Yeah.
Like it'll fly because there's no seller, but before flying, it's like, let me just crush everybody one more time.
So these are the times where we're thinking, have they really tried? Right. That's what constantly is going through our mind.
Yes, yes. On that time frame, has that time frame tried?
Yeah.
So that's the part that we need to stay on top of. 1 second. Okay, hold on.
Take an entry on it.
Yeah, I just bought it. Just bought it. It's a bit of a chase buy because my entry is like right there when it should have been there to there in between here somewhere. So I'm already, if that's my target, it's a little bit in a chase price, right? I'm looking at this whole thing as I'm mixing a bounce with a potential home run.
Okay.
So, but I will have to I'm going to get less than 1 hour on this, most likely. If I see any signs of struggle, I'll have to exit. But so far, I'm liking this and this. Because this candle is about to close even on the 4 hours. In 1 hour's time, it will close, and that's a good close.
Yeah, that was the problem because I was actually looking for this to come down again, and was waiting for to get an entry on this area here, but it's just it it's still there's still power, and then it just fully rejects, and I don't see a slowdown. So I was actually hoping for it to come down, give me a slowdown, and then to get in, and it just was very difficult to get in on it.
Mm.
Is there a way to get in on this when it just leaves a massive tail at the bottom?
Yes, there is, because you have to process it from this same time frame. So let's go slow, right? If we look at this time frame, where's the volume on this cell?
So that volume starts at the initiation of it. Come on, where's my notations? Yeah, so it kind of starts here, and then it slows down.
Mhm.
And then we have volume increase here again, and that's where I did my buy to bring it from no man's land to this area.
Yeah, so step number one is there is a seller in there, which means
Yeah,
another cell is coming,
coming. Yeah,
So that's clue number one. It's like,
yeah,
okay,
that's
they come in hot, then they've come up, they've tested 50%,
yeah,
and then they went through. The fact that they went through now leaves them trapped. Who exactly is trapped? These guys?
yeah. Those
And as
volume
a
for
whole,
yeah,
this whole thing as a whole, but it's these guys who got trapped before it went
yeah,
up. Okay. If those guys are trapped and you get a probe down where their 50% doesn't hold, your buy can only be done at these prices.
okay.
This cannot be caught.
Would you then put your stops here, or would it be fine if you place it there?
Um, here it's fine. It's not the stop that matters. Like if you see, it's like this. You would put it here, but you'd say, Naveen, I took 300 lots on this, and I'm like, holy shit, man, that's a lot of exposure. It doesn't matter. And then I put the stop there because that's the right thing to do. But here, just the RR looks good, but the RR that looks good is not for now. It's for the future.
Yeah,
Who cares about the future? Right now, have we done everything correct to protect us? That's what matters. How we look, the 300 lots is going to make you look good. It's not going to be, I made 7 Rs. 7 Rs nobody cares about. But if you say I made $1 million on this trade, you're going to look good compared to that 7R,
yeah, yeah,
right? It's the amount that
yeah.
matters.
It's that. Yeah. So I always try to just risk a certain amount and not go above that.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I guess if I get
it's
more and more comfortable with this, then that amount just doesn't matter anymore.
it shouldn't. Even now, that amount shouldn't matter. Just trade well, and for your amounts, just use a percentage. Those numbers will keep fluctuating because whatever your account balance is, that and your lot size will keep fluctuating.
Yeah.
Don't care about the lot size. Just
Yeah.
find good opportunities where you can get in safely. Like this entry I just did now. How safe do you guys feel?
Yeah. For buy, I think it's a safe entry. It's a bit late, but
Yeah, let me show you where I did the buy. Oh, sorry.
the buy is
I did the buy there.
okay.
Now,
That's a bit high up for me.
good. See, so if I mark it with an arrow of like, well, that's where I got in, then you guys would see the arrow and be like, wait a minute. So you're telling me this thing came down, you didn't buy that. You needed a test. Test came down, you didn't buy, you bought that there? You'd be like, come here, let me slap your damn dentist teeth. like, like, so basically there is rules that you have to follow of like what is good, what is safe. If it's safe, go bigger. If it's not safe, go smaller, much smaller. Or
Yeah.
just don't do it, you know. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the reason why I went after this is because I'm seeing the entry is actually not here. The entry is here, which is up in this vicinity. So I'm off by 6 to 7 pips.
Just 3 candles, not much.
Well, 3 candles on a 60, which is a lot. Like,
Just an
but
hour
the
and 15
entry,
minutes late.
yeah, but the entry after this candle closes, what do we need from a precision time frame
Refresh failed.
on the sell side, right?
Yeah.
So this is now the precision of the 60. Here's the seller. Let's get him a refresh, which is right here. That's a primary. That's processing. I should have been in here. When he fails, now it's game on. I'm even a bit later than the game on. Okay. So that refresh, I should be in around 72 price. I have 82. So I'm actually 10 pips late if I really look at it. Okay. And what happens when it fails? This tries to probe down, right?
Yeah.
We will say, oh, he needs to get probed, right? And what happens when he probes it? What's that one big clue that they give?
Volume.
Volume. He didn't probe down, but he gave you the volume. That's game on. He's here. So it's running from since yesterday. It's not bad. It's still around this pair. Now we just have to get really good at in the future to identify this so well that we will see this as it needs a 2-legged refresh before it can go again instead of a 1-legged move down. Because we were reading it from here, right? And then the launch did happen, but no one exited. I think this was very hard, middle of the night. I think Tony got stopped and Sanjit got stopped also. But he did go up to the area where a seller should step back in. But yeah, it was a tough one. Okay, so this one, Henning, then makes sense on this one. Just be a little bit careful on the ones that grind away back up. They will generally give you one of these.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why my targets, I was actually looking for that seller to come in again. So that was my targets was right here. So if price just came to that point, I just wanted to close, and it just came to that point, I just closed. So I was looking for that seller to come in, looking for the seller to come in. Anything that tells me maybe it's coming, and I just closed.
But anywhere here, he can come in like that.
Yeah, it's just
Because
it felt like it.
He'll come in any moment.
Felt like it was 50%, but it didn't have a level to support it. So I was like, okay, it's 50% is more. If I look at that, it's more like here. So when we had the slowdown coming in, we had the bar. Okay, great. Refresh, give me a primary, nothing, secondary maybe, and it broke above. It's like, okay, give me a pro back. I was looking for that pro back. Pro back failed, and I got in there on that probe. because
that's
it
like
looked like
that-
sorry,
yeah, that's very risky to
was that risky?
yeah, to just keep reading it like that.
Okay.
You still have to make sense out of it, right? Because of sorry. I do this. Look where 50% is. It's right there. So any
Yeah.
moment in this area, this can happen. That's the thing. So we don't know if he's gonna go up to here and then that's gonna happen. We don't know that. We don't know when that's gonna happen. But
Okay, yeah,
the
I
safer
see.
bet is, well, the whole goal is I want to buy off of this leg two, but this leg two only has one piece in it.
Yeah,
Where's
it's
my
too hot.
subdivided 2 legs or 3 legs minimum? I only have one. So something has to come off the area to give us that second piece of it. Right? So
Yeah, yeah,
the clue was if we stay on the 60, we'll see it all. Like, because the 60 was telling us, no, not good, not good.
Okay, cool. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it makes sense. The risk that was that for me at the time, it made logical sense, but looking back at it, it's like, why did I take a buy there?
Mm. Yeah, well, and that's why we do these calls, right? Hopefully these will help to iron it out even more. Mm.
How come this one doesn't, the one from yesterday is invalid then? Because it could still be that, right?
It could still be that. Not that there. It was here. You see that green bar? After that, everyone we started talking about it's going to be a buy. It's going to be a buy. He came down and he did this. It's like, oh man, I don't know if that's going to stop people out. But he actually did go back up into the seller area. Like the bounce did happen.
So it's still a valid bounce trade, right?
It's still valid. It's just I think he needed a two-legged pullback before getting ready again. Because all of this, it's just not making a higher high. It's at resistance.
Yeah.
So at resistance, he shrinks up, then he probes it. It's like, oh, okay, he's gonna launch. And then from the launch, it's like, again, he's come down. Okay. So what's he gonna do now? Like, is he gonna go after? Okay, like as long as these are low prices are good. We like low prices.
So these are fine. These are also fine, right?
It's fine. It's fine. At the same time, we did the same analysis for Aussie yen as well at the same time, and that one like lifted off nicely. So you will have every now and then one of them is like, why is this pulling back a little bit deeper? Like this for me would have been a stop out because I would have had my stops here, and at that time of the day, I would have been stopped out most likely. So Tony survived it, Sanjit survived it, but I think later when it went up here shy of resistance and then comes down, I think that's what stopped out like Sanjit and Tony.
Okay.
And this one is also going with that same notion of this is 50%. We don't really have a level. I mean, the level is this. That's the level.
Yeah.
And if we look at it from the 4 hours, it's like nothing really happened. We poked out of the level, but we're just still using the level. Only difference is we've left some people trapped below us. But the level seems to hold. So my target on this will have to be either here or this guy up here. Either one of those would be the target. 95 or 03, I think. Actually, wait, let's take a look at this. What time is the interest rate? Interest rate's not out yet, right? That's gonna be in 2 more hours, 3 more hours.
Yeah, I think 2 hours 15 minutes.
Okay. Aussie Swiss. So no momentum on both Aussie Swiss. They're both chilling. But Swiss is getting weak dramatically since this morning.
I was seeing that there might be a buy on CAD Swiss on the 4-hour. Can we have a look at it and
Uh-oh.
just to get a second opinion?
CAD Swiss.
Yeah, it's a range buy on the 4-hour.
Of course, it's the range.
Yeah,
It's a forever range buy. Okay. Here.
yeah. This one. So I was watching the sell coming down strong, and then he is unable to make lower lows from there and pops out. So all of those people below are now trapped.
Yeah.
Just like a buyer's area.
Yep.
And then because this thing pulled in deeper, it's now like at the 50% of the seller's area.
Yep.
So that makes it like a range. And then it seemed to slip, like break out, and came back in for a test. And now the test seems unable to perform and is coming back in on the 1 hour. There could be a fail of a refresh. So then this would be like a trap, and then it would have created another trap here. So I'm wondering if it can push up towards the top of the range again.
Okay, let's draw the trap properly, the level. Seems to be like that, right? That one, that one, that one, that trap, that. Now it's trying to leave a little bit more trap below.
Yeah.
That seems to be like the level, right?
Yeah, it looks
okay.
Lines up nicely.
Okay, so what's the game plan here? You want to do a buy?
A buy, yeah.
Okay, so if we do a buy off of this trap, that's the move, right? Something like that. Sorry,
Okay.
that's the 1 and that's the 2, because we need to let him try, right? Something like that. So
Yeah.
that should be the 2, something like that. Anyways, that one's gone. But the whole thing came back to life when we're now dealing with this range. And when he left a probe, it's like, okay, a range is back to life because of that probe. And we want to see our approach to that. So let's take a look at that approach. We clearly know trap is real because there's so many people down there for what? I don't know how many hours, 12 hours.
Yeah, lots of time.
Right? Okay. How is our move down here?
It's choppy, but it looks like one push by the sellers.
Good. You have a 1. This 1 can be bought. Why? Why can this 1 be bought?
Because the momentum was so slow on the approach.
Good. Each leg is getting worse, and inside each leg, if you look at the candles, it's like they're getting destroyed. Each leg just gets worse and worse. Okay, and now if you look at, focus on the leg 3 part, isn't that a 50% discount that's not holding as well?
Oh yeah, that is.
So 1 can be bought, but bought until when?
Maybe 50% of the seller.
There you go. Good. So that is bounce number 1 that could be traded if you wanted it. And then when that 50% gives it a go, there's your 2. Now, if your
Okay.
2 happens to be somewhere in after this candle, or this candle, which are all bad closes, right?
Yes.
We don't know this is going to come. So if we enter anywhere here, our stop is going to go anywhere below here. This might have prematurely stopped you out before launching. Might have.
Okay.
So there is that complication there because it's a huge range. You might have some sell pressure still left over in there, but
Mm.
it is a buy from any of these 3 candles. The buy begins.
Okay. With this one, I was giving the seller more time to try because it also seemed like refresh um, design. So if this was a primary, the sell might end up trying to go down before failing. So I was going to let it show me that there's no seller there anymore.
But then you're going for the home run.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I forgot to say that this one I wanted to target more the top of the range. So
Then you
I
do that. It's like, so you're going for the
sorry.
home run. Like,
Yeah.
okay.
So
Well, you
when
can
this
still
fails,
enter bounce rules if you want to if you want to do home run, you can. You can still do bounce rules. It's just there's more to sit through,
okay.
and you have to be more careful of don't move your stop so quickly. Be a little bit more lenient with your stop with after a whole swing, then you move it in.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, this one's going. This one's going. For this bounce, I would say there is a trade there as bounce number 1. I'd even say there's a trade for bounce number 2. There's a trade till there. It's done. That's a 1R there as well, right? That
Oh,
one's
okay.
done too. Now, the fact that this is all still the same piece and he's maybe left them trapped, we can check it. Yeah, you've got at least 45 minutes in there. It's not a tail. There's 45 minutes of candle close in there. So then you have that as well that you can buy.
Oh, okay. I missed that one.
It's all still part of that 50%. He's got nothing and they've got trapped below. Okay, do the buy. You're at the bottom of the range. It's telling you I've left trapped people behind me and I've tried 50%. This now, the home run road is now open. You have now the Jesse Livermore's, the path of least resistance is now open.
Okay. But yeah, the entry could have been earlier.
Yeah, but you saw how I went down to the 15 for this, right? Like, yeah, like you don't want to keep going down and down and down time frame to look for something that matches. That will just cause confusion. It's better to just stay on the time frame and be like, my entry is somewhere here. But if you expected it to come down more because maybe the volume picked up on the sell side, then
Yeah,
you can
with
say,
that primary.
yeah, then you can say, after that rejection, I'll just get in. You don't really need to go down. You just get in, like saying, I'm in.
Okay. I was also what made me think the sell might still have power was I was thinking maybe this could have been a real breakout and a deep test that's now going to continue. So I wanted to
Good.
just see that it doesn't continue. And if the refresh fails, then I'm like, okay, we gave him a
Good.
chance and
No,
he
that's
couldn't.
fantastic. That's a good way to think because you squeezed out that seller. Whoever that seller was from this corner to here, you squeezed them out. And you gave him a chance to try. He's trying. Okay, you gave him one more chance. He's trying. Okay. And now that you left people trapped here and there, you're like, okay, there's no seller anymore. This thing's gonna fly.
Okay. And then in terms of landmines, would we be looking at this and then the top of the range?
Yeah, the first circle.
Okay.
The first circle, yeah. Because it's CAD Swiss. You don't have non-stop movements in one direction. Look at this jaggedness you get.
Yeah.
So if I put one circle here and one circle here, they're both targets. You're gonna get scared sitting through a target. It's gonna get messy.
Okay.
right?
Do you
So it's
think
like
that the interest rate could give us an extra push today?
it can.
Maybe remove 80% at the first
Yeah.
landmine.
Let me, for all of you guys, this is a good question for me to ask. Let's say you guys get really good at a bounce trade, for example, right? Now, how often do you see bounce trades versus home run trades?
Bounce more often.
Bounce more often, right? How easy is the bounce trades for you to understand and say, that's the buy right now?
Oh, I think Kenning, you're on mute.
I'm
Oh,
still
no.
on mute. Okay, cool. Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say it's still easier to do a bounce than
Okay.
a home run.
So when you go for the home run, you always have to think of this logic of, if my money is stuck in the home run, am I going to make a lot more money? Is my size bigger for the home run and therefore it's worthwhile? Or is it worth it for me to actually have two bounce trades and I make a lot more money and keeping my capital stuck in that?
Because
But
home run may take more time, right?
home run may take more time, but home run is one involvement. Bounce trades might mean two involvements, more risk. So there is that pro and con there. You know, you have to decide, if you're good at bounces, then the money is better with you during the bounces. If you're really good at home runs, then the money needs to not be wasted on bounces. But if you see a home run, stop all the bounces the day before, put your money in the home run. So you have to think now of like, okay, I know how to trade this edge and that edge. I need to find out now how to use my money best.
Okay.
So that's more capital. It's called capital allocation. How are you going to allocate your money to make sure it has the best return on investment? Yeah. So just constantly think of those things. Is it worthwhile for my money to be stuck there or not? That's all.
And we'll make that decision better as we have a more of a sense of which edge we are best at.
Yes. So right now you might not know that so well because you're still sort of mastering the home runs, you're mastering the bounces. But in due time, when you look at your stats, you're going to be like, oh my God, I'm really good at home runs. I didn't know it. Or, oh, I'm really good at bounces, even though I have a 60% accuracy, but man, I'm profitable.
Yeah, so then the money can just tell you which one to put more on next time.
Yeah. And then that
Okay.
will be your answer. And then just by knowing that, you're more profitable because you can size up on what you know you're good at.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. So with that, cat Swiss flying, is our Aussie Swiss also flying?
Hopefully they move together. Let's see. Yes.
So it's not flying, but it's kind of going.
Walking.
It's not going at all, man.
It's like,
It's lots of
oh,
wicks
okay,
on top
well,
and turning red.
not anymore. It looked like it was holding, but now it's just turning around.
Yeah. Well, anyways, there's one. When is the next news? Let me open up the news
2 hours
here.
time.
Yeah, it's at 2 p.m. So that's in 2 hours and 3 minutes.
So yeah, the next news is in 2 hours. Until then, it might quiet down because it's a big news and the market is already expecting interest rates to go up. So there, it's already built in that that volatility should be coming. Preferably, if they don't do it, that's going to create some crazy volatility. So yeah, we discussed quite a bit. Ollie, I recorded the whole thing. I think it might be a good one to watch.
Yeah, sorry I couldn't get back quick enough.
Yeah, no worries. I just didn't want to do it too late.
Yeah,
Because I can barely speak.
because you were
but-
yeah. Did you go over your USD again or did you just leave that one die after the Vimeo recording that we did?
Yeah, once I did, I figured I already discussed it in that Vimeo video. I don't need to go over it again.
Yeah, yeah. I just can't understand why it's bloody tanking then. I can't understand why it's moving so much then.
The oil probably, right?
Yeah.
So there is the sell. It came finally.
Yeah, I mean that's the bit I'm getting frustrated about. Just keep getting spiked out and everything.
Well, it's not spiked out. It's if you're getting into leg ones, then you're not allowing for a leg two.
Yeah, I was looking at it like this, and then like you said, when he crashed, and that's the bit I didn't pay attention to, was did he get the discount? But I also was thinking of this as being that low volume sort of range thing as well, and thought it would go from there. So I had that in my in my read. But I didn't.
But
I agree with you that this whole thing, I should have taken this whole level like that, not down there, which is what. Okay, it didn't spike it. It went to a liquidity area, up the real area of the trap, and left.
Nicely trapped.
because you can see I just roughly drew it, right? Like I just dropped it on the line there because that looks like resistance and support seems to have respected that line. And when our trade comes to it, it won't really be exactly to that line, but we'll start seeing some kind of reactions around it.
Yeah. Then I just didn't have the balls to get into it after that. At that point, when it took you to the trap.
Yeah, because the second leg, which is this piece, if I show you on the 15, which is here, look how it went up. Sub 3 has gone crazy parabolic, no volume, 50% tries, collapses.
Yeah.
It's game on. So you have that test, but then you also get that bad close because the 50% tried and collapsed. Any of these are for selling.
Yeah. And constantly back on that dial. And instead of being over here, I'm back over here at the moment.
On the left side or the right side?
The left side. The wrong side. I need to be back. I need to be over on that side. I'm just on the wrong side again.
Yeah, but these are all that's the entry dial. It's not you don't have the entry issue. You had the read issue.
Yeah.
The entry was done well, like where you got in. Entry was done well.
Because I saw this as, I actually saw this as two legs like that, and then when I saw that as the one and all this chop here, I thought that was good to go.
Yeah, and that is correct. That is good to go, but it's not ready. If that was the level, then yeah, that would be it. That's why it's like your entry was done really, really well, but if the story leading up to the entry is not right, it won't work.
Yeah, 100%, 100%.
So it's like the top-down approach, right? The order of priorities before we reach the, let's do the entry now.
Yeah.
Same with Henning Strait. He had an Aussie Swiss entry done down to perfection, but there was that looming danger just in that vicinity.
Yeah, one of the things about the bounce trades, Navin, and the traps, a lot of the bounce trades get well beyond the 50% sort of pullback. A lot of the trap is right up, back up into like the armpits or the bloody collars of that buyer or seller, if you know what I mean. When we look at that, don't we think that's like becomes like a void trade, even though I know we're not just trying to bounce it, but because it comes up so deep, I'm kind of like looking at that now and going, is this now valid? Is it valid?
I didn't understand what that means. Like when you say come up, you mean as a seller?
Yeah, say that, let's just say, for example, the trap was up here. Let's just say that that's the trap for
okay.
like, This is a 50% discount, which is great. But sometimes if we want the trade to activate, we want it up in these areas where it becomes like a 70, 80% discount.
Okay.
Also inviting quite high buys. I know we're just looking to bounce it, but does that also have some element of the trade is in danger because it's retraced so much back up into the traps?
Of course, of course. So if that's the level, up there, it's how you get to that level that makes a difference. If it gets up to there, the trend hasn't changed. The trend is still down. But if it does this, yeah, you've left higher lows, trapped higher lows on the way there. Now that's a different story.
Yeah.
Even if you do a sell off of that, you're going to get bounced back at you.
Yeah.
So it's how you get there also makes a difference. At this point down here, that's too far. But however it unfolds, now that's not too far because it's two-sided now.
Yeah.
That's a sell and that's a buy.
Yeah, of course.
And then depending on where the volume shows, you can pick that side because that's going to stay longer.
Yeah.
So it's how you get there. And these are generally after breakouts. If this is a huge range breakout, then yeah, sometimes you come in that deep.
Yeah, sure. Okay. We'll watch the recording.
Cool, cool, cool.